circles. All right. Don't shout out. Raise your hand if you know the answer. I see some new shapes.
Circles.
What do you see, Colin?
A hexagon, a triangle.
I see a triangle.
Rhombus.
I don't see a hexagon. I do see some rhombus. Trapezoid, rhombus, and circles.
And triangle. I see a triangle. I see a...
It was not perfectly square anymore. So, it made itself into a fountain that babbled and gurgled and clamped. On Tuesday, it was torn into scraps.
I see a square. I see
So, it made itself into a garden. Hey guys, we're going to pause. Show me the right way to sit. Haven, you have moved too close to Olivia. Go back to where you were. If you are mumbling or muttering to yourself or someone else, you have to stop. It made itself into a beautiful flower garden. On Wednesday, the square was shredded into strips. So, it made itself into a park.
How is that a park? It look like one.
You are forgetting the important thing you are supposed to do before you ask a question. Yes, Kennedy.
I'm noticing it's changing colors.
Bingo! It is changing colors. So this is not just a shape book. It is also a color book. Very good. On Thursday, the square was shattered.
Ooh, that's
These are very regular shapes. We know what these are. What are they? Everybody. Mostly triangles, but we see a couple of other shapes too. You might see a rhombus or two.
I'm trying to ask Ms. Hogan something.
So, it made itself into a bridge.
Not a bridge.
Sit all the way down. Did you need me, Alex?
I wanted to...
Your hand goes up, and you wait. No, your hand goes up. Show me. And you wait quietly. Yes, Alex.
On the other page, it looks kind of like a spider web.
Do you see something that looks like a spider web?
Yes.
Luke.
On that other page, like back, it looks like with that on the other page, like it looks like a soldier.
A soldier?
That.
I think it's a kite being flown in the park. Braylon, quickly.
They're being paraded.
Yes.
No, what? Their pants and shirts.
Okay. Last question.
The bridge, like the pointy thing, like it's not together, so you need to hold on to them so you won't fall.
If it was a real bridge, yes. On Friday, the square was snipped into ribbons.
Yay!
so it made itself into a river.
Fishy.
On Saturday. Haven, I want you and Robert to change places. On Saturday, the square was crumpled and ripped and wrinkled. So it made itself into a mountain.
Yeah, I knew that.
Kennedy, hold on to your jacket and stop tossing in the air. And Kason, last time, crisscross applesauce, watch on your wrist, or I'm happy to hold on to it for you. Yes, Harper.
I noticed that it's changing days too.
Bingo, bingo. It's also a Day of the Week book. Colors, shapes, and days of the week. On Sunday, the square waited to see what was next. It waited and waited and waited. Nothing happened. That's not how I call on you. Nothing happened. Its 4 equal sides were confining. Its 4 matching corners were rigid and cramped. Yes, Hannah?
I noticed that this is, a feeling.
Does it have feelings?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. Yes, Harrison.
If you go back to the page, if you go back to that page, and if you go back to the very first page, you can see that it was fine the way that it was. And then if you go back one page, it's like, see, it's happy that in that part of the story, and then if you go right here, it's back to normal.
Mm-hmm. At first, the square was a perfect square, and it was perfectly happy. But it changed a lot in the middle of the book, didn't it? And then, after nothing happened, it wasn't happy. All of a sudden, being a plain, perfect square was boring.
Oh, jinx.
So, it made itself into a window.
It's a rainbow.
A window that looked out onto a mountain that gave birth to a river that was crossed by a bridge that led to a park that was home to a garden that had at its center a fountain that bubbled and giggled and clapped. And that is a perfect square. If you put it all back together like a puzzle, would it be a square?
Yeah.
It sure would. All right, I like the way you've got your hand up. Colin.
Go back to the very last page.
Okay, now guys and girls, I love studying a book and going back, but we've got to stop flipping around in this book or we won't get to the others. Last time I'm going to do that for this book.
When you first folded it, they did have persons, but at the end it has.
Yep, it has people at the end. Very good. All right. I like that one too. I love it.
Yeah.
Now this book has a square as its main character. I guess you could call it a main character. This book has a triangle. This is such a goofball book. Every now and then I just like to do a goofball book, and this is one.
Is it funny? Yes.
I think so. Stop tapping because that makes a lot of noise. Before I start, I want to see everybody fix it. Everybody. Alex, you too. Go all the way to the edge of the rug so that Kennedy and Kason can make space. All right. This is called triangle. This is triangle. And this is triangle's house. And this is triangle in his house. And this is triangle's door. One day, Triangle walked out of his door and away from his house. He was going to play a sneaky trick on Square. We're not stopping for things right now. Put your hand in. He walked past small triangles and medium triangles and big triangles. He walked past shapes that weren't triangles anymore. He walked past shapes that didn't have names. He walked until he got to a place where there were squares. He walked past big squares and medium squares and small squares. He walked all the way until he got to Square's house. Now, said Triangle, I will play my sneaky trick. Triangle walked up to Square's door and said, hiss, just like a snake. Hands down. Square was afraid of snakes. Oh, me! Oh, my! Said Square. Go away, you snake! Leave my house! Hiss! Said Triangle. Hiss! 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 Oh, dear, dear, dear! Said Square. How many snakes are out there? 10? 10 million? Go away, snakes! And Triangle could not hiss anymore. He was laughing too hard. Triangle? Said Square. Is that you? Yes, said Triangle. I know you're afraid of snakes. I've played a sneaky trick on you. Square ran after Triangle, past small squares and medium squares and large squares. He ran past the shapes with no names. He ran past the big triangles and the medium